Alright, in class we made our list of our perfect squares. We did number 32 together in class. As a reminder, we were saying what perfect square from this list goes into 75. We said the square root of, we said 25, so it's 25 times 3. So this was equal to 5 radical 3. For 40, 4 is the perfect square that goes into 40. 4 goes into it 10 times. The square root of 4 is 2, so this is 2 radical 10. For 448, it's a pretty big number, so if we're not sure which perfect square goes into it, we can try out a few things, right? We know that it's got to be something from our list. So if we try out a few numbers, it's an even number. So we know maybe it's one of these evens. Okay, it's if I do 448 and I divide by, like, let's try, if I try 144, that doesn't work, right? If I try 196, okay, that doesn't work. So we know 100 is not going to work. Let's try 64 then. And that's 7. So this is 64 times 7. Square root of 64 is 8. So it's 8 times the square root of 7. Alright, we've got 392. So if I look at my list, if I try to divide by 225, it's not going to work. If I divide by 196, I get 2. So if you start with the bigger number and work your way back, that's going to be your best strategy to use. Okay, if you don't remember what the square root of 196 is, you have your calculator, type it in. The square root of 196 is 14. So it's 14 times the square root of 2. We're not worrying about the cubed part. Okay, and then we're going to go down here to these parts where we have some variables. We're going to treat this as two separate problems, the number and the variable. For the number part, we're looking at our list from the top and picking out a number from the perfect square list that goes into 24. It's 4 times 6, so 2 radical 6. For the variables, you divide the exponent by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so our answer is going to be x to the first. To put these two together, you put everything that's outside the radical together, so the 2 and the x, and then what's inside the radical goes there. For number 41, 81 is on our perfect square list, so the square root of 81 is just 9. There's no radical left. 5 divided by 2 is 2, and there's 1 left over. So since there's 1 left over, that goes on the inside. So when you have an odd number, you can't divide by 2 evenly. But when you divide by 2, you get 2.5. So 2 whole times and 1 left over. So our final answer is 9m squared times the square root of m. Every time you have an odd number for the square root, an odd number for the exponent for a square root, you're going to have 1 left on the inside. Okay, number 42. Square root of 72, square root of p to the 16th. I look at my list for 72. I start with the biggest it could possibly be. So I can't go higher than 72, so I'm going to start with 64. Divide by 72 by 64, that doesn't work. Divide by 49, that doesn't work. If I divide by 36, it does work. So the square root of 36 times the square root of 2, so 6 radical 2. I take the 16 and I divide by 2, so I get p to the 8th. To put my final answer together, it's 6p to the 8th times the square root of 2. Number 43. I look at my list at the top. I start here because that's where 45 falls between. Divide by 36, that doesn't work. Divide by 25, that doesn't work. Divide by 16, that doesn't work. 9 works. So we've got the square root of 9 times the square root of 5 times the square root of r to the 9th. Square root of 9 is 3. 9 is an odd number. So when I divide by 2, I get 4.5. So since there's something left over, I have an r on the inside. We put the outside stuff together, we put the inside stuff together. Alright, next I've got 320, and I've got x to the 18th. Now think about your EOC. If it's multiple choice, do the easy part first. Divide by 2, and I get x to the 9th. Look at your answer choices. If your variable is only correct in one of your choices, don't even waste your time with this one. Okay, so we know it's x to the 9th. I have to go through my list. 320, so I'm going to have to try all of these. 320 divided by 225, 320 divided by 196, 320 divided by 169, doesn't work. Divided by 144, doesn't work. Divided by 121, doesn't work. Divided by 100, doesn't work. We try 81, doesn't work. Try 64. That one worked. Okay. Square root of 64 is 8, so 8 radical 5. When I put these two answers together, the x to the 9th goes outside with the 8. Alright, we got 2 questions here, or 2 parts. 28. 4 goes into 28 7 times, so 2 radical 7. This a really has a 1 there. It's not going to get out, because if I do 1 divided by 2, I get 0.5. So that a is going to be stuck inside the radical. B has an exponent of 4. If I do 4 divided by 2, it's 2. How do I put my answers together? Outside and outside, go on the outside. Inside and inside, stay on the inside. Okay, next. We're going to treat this separately. 1/9 and x squared and y to the 10th. Your calculator will do this for you. If you get totally freaked out about the fraction, do it on your calculator. It's going to give you an answer of 1/3. You can also think about it as the square root of 1 over the square root of 9, which is 1/3. Take the 2, divide by 2, we get x to the 1st. The 10 divided by 2 gives me y to the 5th. Alright, we've got 108, and then we've got all these letters. So, what goes into 108? So we're going to divide by all the perfect squares that are less than 108 to see which one works. Okay, as we go through our list, we find that 36 works. It's 36 times 3. We're going to take each one of these and divide by 2. This is odd. 25 divided by 2 is 12. And something's left over, so it goes on the inside. 7 divided by 2 is 3, and something's left over, so s goes on the inside. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3, so t to the 3rd on the outside. So if I put all this together, it's 6r to the 12th, s to the 3rd, t to the 3rd, and left on the inside is 3rs. Alright, last one. Square root of 147. What goes into 147? 49. So 49 times 3. So it's square root of 49 is 7. And then we've got c to the 15th to d to the 20th. Divide 15 by 2, I get 7, and there's something left over because it's a decimal. Divide the 20 by 2, and I get 10. So put my answers together, and I'm finished.